It's very important to know your roots, and this mural signifies the importance of knowing your roots. Kentucky roots unite us. Point to yours. Hashtag Kentucky Roots Mural. And this was designed by Grace Lee Henderson, as you can see here. Shouts out to Grace Lee Henderson for this beautiful mural. What's going on? It's your boy P9 coming at you with another video. In this video, I am coming at you from Henderson, Kentucky. Henderson, Kentucky is the county seat of Henderson County, Kentucky, and is part of the tri-state metro area of Evansville and in Henderson in Indiana, Kentucky metro area. Now, how you doing? Now, Evansville, Indiana is just north of Henderson, Kentucky, and Henderson, Kentucky is considered a suburb of Evansville, the southernmost suburb of Evansville, Indiana. So this is Henderson, Kentucky, and I'm in the downtown portion of the city, which has a population of roughly 30,000. And I'm on First Street now, as you can see. And Henderson is another one of those cities that are located on the Ohio River. It is located across the Ohio River from Evansville, Indiana. Now, Evansville was incorporated in 1840 and was named after a politician and speculator by the name of Richard Henderson, who attempted to create a colony in frontier Kentucky known as the Transylvania Colony. That building across the street is the Henderson Municipal Center. So the building houses, you know, a bunch of the city services, such as paying utility bills, property taxes, things of that nature.
It's the Allen Brothers Furniture Store.
And the indigenous people of the land of that is presently Henderson, Kentucky, were the Native American tribe called the Mississippians. And later on it was inhabited by the Uchis, the Shawnee Indians, and the eastern band of the Cherokee Indian tribe. So those were the Native American tribes that inhabited the land that is now Henderson. As you can see right here, it's the Henderson County Courthouse. And that building over there is the Henderson County Judicial Center. And just another one of those Civil War markers. Of course, the Confederates doing what they did up to a lot of cities. They raided the land. And this is Confederate Brigadier General Adam Rankin Stovepipe Johnson, who was a native of Henderson and is considered one of the area's most colorful Civil War heroes. So he made a daring raid with a small force across the river into Newburgh, Indiana, to capture Union guns. Here's a little park that's right outside the courthouse. this is a fountain that fits right here in Central Park of Henderson. And that Central Park fountain was installed in 2003 and originally costing $3,000. The first fountain quickly became a treasured landmark in downtown Henderson, and the original landmark stood from 1892 to 1963. So there was a revitalization in Henderson's downtown in 2003, and the restoration of this historic fountain was part of that revitalization process. A nice little park over here. There's a Presbyterian church over there. And that building right there is the Henderson County Public Library. Walking down 2nd Street in Henderson. Right here you have Rookie Sports Bar and Restaurant. It's actually housed in this building right here with the Greek columns. Very interesting. Across the street over there is Homer's Barbecue. So another barbecue spot here in Kentucky. So Kentucky's known for barbecue, bourbon, and whiskey. Over here on Water Street. And this is the site of the Audubon saw and grist mill. And it's the Audubon saw and grist mill in 1816. John James Audubon and his wife's brother, Thomas Bakewell, built a steam mill here. The 45 by 65 structure cost $15,000. Audubon supplied over half the money in operation 1817-19. It failed due to defective machinery and the scanty wheat crops. Audubon then devoted himself to painting and found success. Mill was used later as tobacco warehouse, burned in 1913. So it sat right along over here on the Ohio riverfront, which you see right here. See that bridge over there? And right over here, by the way, over across the street, Kentucky is known for its barbecue. They have a restaurant by the name of Taylor's Grill on Wheels. Just wanted to point that out. They do have a couple of riverside restaurants. Like they have an on deck riverside bar and grill right there. And Henderson is known to be home of the W.C. Handy Blues and Barbecue Festival. Noted Alabama-born musician, composer, music publisher, and father of the blues, W.C. Handy had a soft spot for Henderson, his adopted Kentucky home. In turn, the community has had a soft spot for this man who lived and worked here during the 1890s, met his wife Elizabeth Price here, and a man who was inspired while living here to collect and notate music and the common man. And in 1991, the community launched an annual blues festival that takes place the week before Father's Day and honors our connection with Handy. Up, it's raining. It is raining now. So that's a lot of fun. It's coming down a little bit, but not willing to call it quits just this moment. John James Audubon, 1785 to 1851. This is a sculpture of an American white pelican as painted by John James Audubon. So these are just a few sculptures right here on the Ohio riverfront. And there goes Mr. Audubon right there, holding his rifle in his left hand and holding his feathered pen in his right hand. Here's a marker of the Ohio River from its starting point at the confluence of the Allegheny and Monongahela rivers in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The Ohio River flows 981 miles in a southwesterly direction to Cairo, Illinois, where it joins the Mississippi River. Henderson, Kentucky is located at mile 804. 21 dams along the river ensure that a minimum navigable channel 9 feet in depth is maintained year-round. The river averages a quarter mile in width and 24 feet in depth. Over every year, 230 million tons of cargo are transported on the Ohio River. Approximately 70% of that cargo is coal and related energy products bound for the many power plants in the Ohio River Basin. So we are right here at Henderson at mile marker 804. So the Ohio River actually starts at the confluence of the Allegheny and Monongahela rivers in Pittsburgh. That's why that part of Pittsburgh, the stadium where the Pittsburgh Steelers used to play, used to be called the Three Rivers Stadium, because three rivers merged together at that point. Oh, it's a bunch of locks right here, like a bunch of padlocks and things of that nature over here on this rail. And this the Audubon's mill, a photo of it, and it goes Audubon right there. But it's just a picture of the Audubon's mill that we just read about on the marker a few minutes ago. There's a marker right here that represents the steamboats, which were a very key part of river transportation. It actually revolutionized river transportation when it came to transporting cargo and also other goods across the rivers. You know, so steamboats reached their high water mark of luxury in the 1850s. So that's when they start, and instead of just being used for shipping cargo, they started using steamboats as like luxury you know, transportation, having parlors and stationery and musical entertainment and elaborate menus. So it basically made it to where it added some flavor to river transportation, you know, much like a cruise ship does today across an ocean. And there goes a marker of General Stovepipe Johnson, who we read about earlier, over by the courthouse. This Confederate general. There goes a marker of W.C. Handy, William Christopher Handy, W.C. Handy, the father of blues, lived in Kentucky from 1892 to 1903. So he lived in Henderson, Kentucky to be exact. Handy, recognized as the first person to publish the blues, receiving his calling to create this written record while in Henderson. It was there I realized that the experiences I had, things I had seen and heard, could be set down in the kind of music characteristic of my race. His first tune, originally written for a political campaign, was later changed to the Memphis Blues. Handy went on to write 40 blues songs and about twice as many spirituals. There he goes right there, Mr. W.C. Handy. And here comes photographs of his works. So if you watch my Clarksdale, Mississippi video, which has gotten a lot of views on this channel, you will see that W.C. Handy also played a major part in blues in that particular city. And Henderson's governor. So all of these individuals right here have served as governors of Kentucky, and they were natives of Henderson, which is Lazarus Powell, John Young Brown, A.O. Stanley, and A.B. Happy Chandler. And there goes a freight train actually making its way across that bridge over there. So I had to get that. And yes, it's still raining. but I'm not going to let that stop the show. And this is a marker about Lewis and Clark. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of Lewis and Clark, of the Lewis and Clark expedition. Robert Fraser, a member of the 1803 to 1806 Lewis and Clark expedition, visited General Samuel Hopkins here in February and April of 1807. Fraser was traveling from St. Louis to Washington and back while helping the U.S. government examine the Burr conspiracy, wrote President Jefferson from here on April 16th. So yeah, so the Lewis and Clark Trail also took place right here in Henderson, Kentucky. And this is the back of the Henderson County Tourist Commission. And Henderson right now is getting some much needed rainfall. So apparently Henderson County also was home to, you know, nightclubs and gambling during the 1940s. So it was patronized not only by local citizens but also by workers from Evansville's war factories and soldiers from nearby Camp Breckenridge. By 1950, it was said that there were 39 local nightclubs which featured gambling. By far the largest of these was the Club Trocadero, a plush club that featured nationally known entertainers such as Tommy Dorsey and Count Basie. The clubs brought with them many problems, including petty crime, prostitution, and political corruption. In the early 1950s, local citizens formed a Good Government League, which led a successful fight to rid the country's clubs of the gambling industry. Again, this is called the Good Government League. And here's a image of Club Trocadero back in the day. And also here's a photograph of some of the workers from the factories coming and patronizing the casinos. Oh, that's 2nd Street down this way. As you can see. Here's a little water park right here. As the sun just came back out. Yeah, you can come over here and play in the fountains right here in the water park. So this waterfront park was actually built in 2003. They added the fountains and that was that, you know. It's really nice though. They even have some apartments over there across the street that sit right alongside the river. I like this sign right here too. It says, "I love Henderson," and it has the state sign of Kentucky with the heart symbol where Henderson is located on the map in Kentucky. So that is a really cool sculpture right here. The Henderson Leadership Institute Signage Project Class of 2022 group members. So here are all the group members right here. So these are all the individuals who made donations and made this project possible. So shout out to all these individuals listed here on this sign. With that being said, people, I'm finna close it out right here. But I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much. And thanks for all your support. Continue to support the channel. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like button or that subscribe button. Subscribe to this channel. I'm trying to get this thing growing, so hey, trying to get through these algorithms, so that's the goal. Help your boy P9 out. With that in mind though, guys, I appreciate you guys for watching. And until the next one, till the next time, peace. Have a great day.